Hi, I'm Jason Gray, and this is the 50th book breakdown of 2019. Are you someone that would like to understand the psychology of getting results? Would you like to know how to think better or help people think better? Do you just want more positivity in your life? Do you have some desires that are not coming towards fulfillment just quite yet? If you said yes to any of these questions, stay tuned for this week's book breakdown. Alright guys, we did it. This is the 50th book in 2019, and we are looking at Beyond Positive Thinking by Dr. Robert Anthony. How many of you read this book or have heard of this book? You know, I've heard of this book over the last 2 or 3 years by some very successful and very respected mentors of mine. But again, being a generally positive person, I thought, I don't really need that. And you know what? Once I read it, I said, oh my goodness, this is such a powerful book. I needed that, and so many others need that. So I highly recommend you guys pick this up. When it comes to the must-read, must-have book section, I think this is one of those that everyone needs. I have a lot of quotes for you, so hang in there. I know there's going to be something in there that is just for you. And there's a lot more of them that I highlighted, but I'm not choosing to share with you because you guys got to go get the book. Okay, so the first one is talking about, I'm going to read you different quotes from the book. We can only receive what our minds are capable of accepting. We can go to the river of life with a teaspoon, and someone else may go with a cup. Someone else may go with a bucket, and yet another person may go with a barrel. But the abundance of the river is always there and waiting. Our consciousness, our ideas, our frame of reference, and our belief system determine whether we go to the river of life with a teaspoon, a cup, a bucket, or barrel. You know, a lot of times I think people and even ourselves, we can say, man, look at that person, or look at what they've achieved, or they have, or they're doing. That must be nice, or that's for them, or people like them, and not for people like me or us. And who's making up that lie? It's our own mind, our own believing, our conscious and our subconscious, right? Instead, we have to start turning it around to, how can that be me? Or I can do that, and then start thinking the right way. And a lot of this book is about that, okay? Beliefs become limitations. Our experiences have led us to believe certain things about ourselves. Whether these beliefs are true or not really doesn't matter, because if we accept them as true, then they are true for us. If we speak our word long enough, it becomes law in the universe. Pronounce your limitations vigorously enough, and they're yours. Whether your beliefs are true or totally insane, if you accept them, then that's what your life will be about. Wow, how powerful is that? I was told recently, I went to a Millionaires in Training program, and I was told recently that, one of your main jobs as a leader is to first believe in yourself, your way, your methods, everything else, but help others believe. That's the main job. And this just points out as well that whatever limitations you have or huge expectations, you're going to believe it, especially when you're thinking about it, saying it over and over and over again. You can think small right now, or you can think big. It takes the same effort. But down the line, if you think small and hit those goals, it's going to be detrimental, because what if you would have thought big and put in the work behind that and hit those, right? Break through mistaken beliefs. The fact of the matter is, we can only be successful to the degree that we are willing to shed our mistaken beliefs. The sad thing is that even though we know our lives are working in certain areas, we are still afraid to change. We are locked into our comfort zone, no matter how self-destructive it may be. Yet the only way to get out of our comfort zone and to be free of our problems and limitations is to get uncomfortable. When we can only experience freedom in direct proportion to the amount of truth that we are willing to accept without running away. We must stop kidding ourselves, stop blaming others, and stop avoiding unpleasant decisions, and start facing the truth that we may have accepted unworkable beliefs that are the direct cause of the events in our lives. It is not a question of going from negative thinking to positive thinking. It is a matter of moving toward right thinking, which means moving toward knowing the absolute truth about who we are and our relationship to life. The starting point of success. The aim of all great teachers since the beginning of time has been to awaken us to the fact that we create our own reality. More importantly, they have taught us we are responsible for everything that happens in our lives. This includes the good, the bad, and the ugly. So remember, whatever happens to us is our fault, right? And sometimes that's hard to take in. It's like, well, it's just terrible luck, or I was born with poor parents, or a broken household, or bad health, or whatever it is. There's a couple of things that are just terrible luck and we don't really control, but it's not what happens to you, it's how you respond if you have the right mindset. And understanding and accepting responsibility for the good and bad in your life is a super important step to moving forward. Okay. You may not have realized it until now, but everything you experience in your life is invited, attracted, and or created by you. There are no exceptions. Okay? Now look, you're always right. The primary function of the subconscious mind is to follow the instructions of the conscious mind. It does this by proving that whatever the conscious mind believes is true. In other words, the job of the subconscious mind is to prove the conscious mind is always right. So, back up. Conscious is what you think about, you're aware of, it's what's happening right now. Subconscious mind is your brain doing all the computer processes that you're not even aware of behind the scenes. Okay, but the subconscious dictates a lot of your conscious. The subconscious does not change the reality of the world around you. It just filters information that you present to it in order to support your beliefs or the picture that you hold in your mind. For example, if you believe that business is bad or that there are no new opportunities for your business, your subconscious will ignore new opportunities to improve your business. Instead, it will only point out problems that support your belief that things are bad and that there are no new opportunities. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's so critical to understand. So one of the questions one of my mentors, Daryl Haas, always has said to us is, I know this probably won't happen, or this seems impossible, or this is a really big goal, or I know this is not what you want to do, or you don't think you can do that. But just tell me, if you were to try, or if this might happen, what are some ways that might make this possible, or what would you do? And all of a sudden your brain shifts, you start thinking about, well, how would I do it? And so this goes back to another adage, I think Robert Kiyosaki talks about it, it's oh my goodness, that's too expensive, I could never afford that. Let's say a Lamborghini, $400,000, whatever. And if that's what you really want, you guys switch your mind to like, wow, that's a good amount of money. How can I afford that? And start thinking about the possibilities. So don't shut off your brain. Okay, take a look at how much of your life is about winning approval and realize this important truth. You'll never get the approval you seek. You simply can't please everyone. So learn to please yourself and enjoy who you are. You gotta enjoy who you are. You're never going to get approval from anyone. And by the way, who cares? They're not paying your bills. They're not sleeping in your bed. They're not parenting your kids. So who cares what other people think, right? Okay, by assuming your own destiny, you're bound to get someone angry. Your boss, your spouse, your parents, your children. At first, assuming your own destiny can be a lonely process, and it may seem that everyone is against you, but the only image you must live up to is your own. The opinions of those who approve or disapprove are irrelevant, especially when you're going the path less taken, okay? The decision to live your life is your own responsibility. The results of your own life are your own responsibility. Your action or inaction becomes your own responsibility. Often other people will have values and beliefs that are in conflict with yours. And when they see you living in opposition to their values and beliefs, it can be very frightening for them because, in a way, it threatens their foundation. When a person is confronted with your beliefs, there's an inner battle that's waged, and the battle is, could they possibly be right? If they are, that means I could be wrong. A person who knows who they are is not threatened by the beliefs of others. Those who are insecure and do not know who they are will always be frightened by anyone who directly or indirectly threatens their belief system. Isn't that powerful? Look, there's a thing called like the Crabpot Theory that when you're growing, when you're doing better, when you're going to the mountaintop, the crabs they can't get out, or they don't want to get out. So they're trying to hold you back and pull you back down. And you get too many of them latched onto you, you're going to get stuck. So you got to pull away from the crowd for sure. It is a demonstrated fact of life that you and I do not behave in accordance with the reality of what we can do, but in accordance with the reality of what we believe we can do. It stands to reason if we change the way we believe, we can change the way we act. Everything is about beliefs. You take morals and values that are associated with religion or culture or demographics, and people behave in accordance to those beliefs, don't they? And you can go to a totally different country than you're living in and be blown away by some of the things that are allowed or not allowed, and your beliefs are going to say that is crazy or that is amazing, but all the other people are just going to see it as normal because of their beliefs, right? So how do you feel about yourself? The size and scope of your goals will increase proportionally with your self-esteem. When you have low self-esteem, you will attract negative influences that will prevent you from reaching your goals. Take a look at clients you are dealing with or the relationships in which you are involved. The fact is that you will always associate with people you feel worthy of being with. This includes your friends as well as your clients in you and your business. Take a look at your material possessions. You draw to yourself that which you feel worthy of receiving. The car you drive, the clothes you wear, the home you live in. The total quantity and quality of your life is determined by your self-esteem and your self-worth. Now that might sting a few people watching and say, that can't be true, or I feel so much better than my circumstances. In the subconscious deep down level, it is true. But there's hope. We can always change the way we believe and think, and I'm going to give you some tools here in the middle of this book to make that better. Okay, so we're not a tree. You don't just stay as you are, right? What everyone wants in life is to feel good. It is that simple. It is the feeling we are after. We tend to go after things to get that feeling. The material things or events are just an excuse to play the game. What is it that turns me on? What do I enjoy doing? This is the key question. Once I know that, and the answer is going to be different for each person, reaching the goal is very easy. You may want a bright red. Okay, so continuing on. Believing is seeing. Perception of reality limits success. Okay? People who must see it before they can believe it, or must have concrete feedback before they will take a risk, find it very difficult to grow and to change. Most of their lives are spent waiting for something to happen rather than making it happen. We stimulate our creative energy and drive in direct proportion to our ability to use our imagination. However, use of our imagination is limited by our perception of reality. All of us have some natural limitations in perceiving reality, but we can expand our awareness of this reality. We are not limited by it unless we choose to be limited. Man, this is gold here, guys. A lot of nuggets coming up. We're only halfway through. All right, focusing on the end result. What I want to share with you is this. You don't need to know all those answers. You don't need every detail. In fact, if you did have the answers to all those questions, that information would, in the present moment, probably work against you. What you do need to know is, what is the end result? Where do I want to end up? What do I want to create? Set the goal first, and the necessary information will get through. Having all the information first without the goal only confuses the mind and will work against you. Remember this, information does not come through first. Before the information can be filtered through, your brain-mind mechanism must lock onto the goal or end result. Once that is set, everything you need to know to accomplish the end result will present itself for you. So just focus on your goals, your desires, what you really want, and the necessary stuff will come through when it's supposed to. When fear sets in, we very easily rationalize why we should retreat, give up, cut back, or why we can't do something. Are you using your energies trying to figure out what things aren't available to you or can't happen for you? Or are you putting your energy into how you can make them happen? Again, focus on possibilities and making things happen as opposed to the difficulties or lack. Allowing others to be our teacher. Sometimes the information that we need will come through other people. It can come in the form of suggestion or even criticism. However, if we have poor self-esteem or self-worth, we will not be able to accept suggestions or handle criticism from others. Our response will be defensive, such as, why should I listen to my subordinates? Why should I listen to my children? What can they possibly know that I don't know? The error we make is this: when we accept only our opinion, we shut out everything else. Again, our self-esteem or self-worth is not strong enough to accept input from others. Look, criticism and feedback is important, but you need to be confident in working on your beliefs and everything so that you can move forward and take it in the right light and then know how to discern what you're going to accept and what you're not. If coaches, teachers, people who are looking out for you are giving you some feedback that feels uncomfortable, well, you don't want to shut down and be defensive, which sometimes can be a go-to response. When you are unable to figure out how to get what you want, it isn't because you are stupid. It is because you are conditioned not to see beyond your present level of awareness. In business, there's a tendency to lock onto approaches that are traditional. This is the way we have always done it. When we use that type of thinking and lock on to the way it was, we blind ourselves to the way it could be. And so ask yourself this question: what ideas, beliefs, or attitudes have I accepted? Is there an idea, opinion, or attitude that I have which is not supporting me in getting where I want to go, doing what I want to do, or being what I want to be? If there is, then you must be willing to let go of the idea, belief, or attitude and concentrate on the end result. You need to allow new information that will facilitate you in permitting the end result to get through. All right, let me share just a couple of more here. Be careful when choosing the kind of people with whom you surround yourself, because they strongly influence your creativity, whether you realize it or not. Their negativity becomes contagious in your office, your relationships, in your family, in your business. People who believe that things can't be done will go out and prove themselves right. But people who know things can be done will go out there and make it happen. So think about this. Goals are not promises, they're commitments. They are not wishes, but visions. We do not hope our dreams are going to find us, we find them. Goals don't start in our brain, they start in our heart. We are not going to be committed to our goal 100% until we're clear on the benefits of the goal. This is probably the most important and significant step in goal setting. If you're working in a job, or you're in a relationship with someone, or if you're expanding or expending any effort in your life and are not sure of the benefits you will obtain, you will have great difficulty maintaining necessary enthusiasm, persistence, and dedication. When you are not sure of the benefits, it is very difficult to dedicate yourself to something. The critical difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't is desire. Rewards create desire, so spend a lot of time outlining the benefits and the rewards. So look at this. Affirmation plus imagery plus emotion equals success. The key to successful imagery is to put as much emotion into the picture as possible. Okay, you get what you expect. Whatever you expect to happen is determined by the thoughts you dwell upon, plus the intensity of the emotions behind those thoughts. It is worth repeating that our subconscious does not question the validity of the data we present to it. It merely processes it and attracts to us what we believe to be true. All right, let me see here. Don't try to change your performance or behavior. Change your picture first. The big mistake that most people make is they try to outrun their picture. You want to use intention statements, okay? So I intend to as opposed to I am. I intend to have a brand new luxury car. It is my intention to have more prospects. Intentions make it more believable, and thus your mind does not shut down. All right, guys, that's it for today. I don't want to bore you or get you tuning out if you already haven't, but pick up that book. I'm telling you, Beyond Positive Thinking. Great book, a lot of content. I think you can come back to those quotes and those ideas often and suit yourself very well. So if you like that, guys, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing less book breakdowns in 2020, but I'm going to be bringing you more business tips, more inspirational stories, and more things that are around motivation. And I think if you like this type of stuff, everything I'll be bringing to you will be very helpful as well. So guys, have a great, happy new year. Hopefully 2019 was a good year for you, but whether it was great, good, or terrible, it's ending tonight. And you're gonna go into 2020 with your thoughts and your beliefs and your pictures and your images and your visions and your goals. And may you take them seriously. May you write them down often. May you look at them often. May you feel them and then put massive action behind it. When you look back 365 days from today, where are you going to end up? And if you're doing those things, you're going to end up in a very good place. We have huge business goals. We're going to promote 3 brokers. We're going to quadruple our income. And we're going to have way more impact in 2020 than we had in 2019. And we're excited to take some of you along for that journey. Until then, guys, join me in the pursuit of greatness.